Nation, Maven TV, aka Me TV, aka the second round knockout. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I thought I TKO'd this dude in the first round. But obviously, he's a glutton for punishment. And yes, I'm using the pun intended. So, what happened after Friday when I released the video? This dude started contacting me again. Now, mind you, like I said, I do not contact him. I do not follow him, all right? I do not send him anything to initiate conversation. He's coming to me. You get that? For a person who's so famous, he sure as hell has a lot of time to keep coming to me, doesn't he? I'm going to show you that later. But judging by these tweets, he's going to show his true colors today. So what I did was, as soon as he started messaging me, I started taking screenshots. So let's look at the tweets right now. Hold up. So let me get this straight. Now it's my fan base's fault for all this. That's what you're saying. Now, mind you, we're going to go back to the last video, all right? First, it was my fault that he said these things in an interview. He said these things, but it's my fault, right? Then you blame the comic book stores for having full shelves, all right? So you blame them. Now you're saying it's my fan base's fault because they're trying to start a feud. They're not trying to start no feud, dude. They're not trying to, all right? Like I said, I'm not trying to hear. So it's everyone else's fault but yours. You take no fault in this whatsoever. You know, that's ridiculous, man. All right, but that's not all. Then you have Jeff Breedwell who steps in and starts making jokes. Now, mind you, I'm already defensive because of what's going on. So I'll go right after Jeff Breedwell. And as soon as I get on Jeff Breedwell, he apologizes for things. That's right, on his end. He didn't want to get mixed up, you know, in thinking that he's trying to start something. And I accept his apology. You know, that's what we can do when we can actually talk as human beings and as adults. And we actually open up a dialogue. Now, here's the interesting part that Jeff brings up, because he says that Marvel is backing Dan Slott 100% on Superior Spider-Man, right? But I'm trying to tell Jeff, that's not the issue here, all right? I explained to him, the issue is Dan contacting me out of the blue and trying to start a fight with me via Twitter over a link, all right, to an interview that he did. That's pathetic. All right, that's what this is about, trying to start a fight with me. And Jeff says that, you know, that's just Dan trying to troll because that's what he does to promote Superior Spider-Man. And like I said in the tweets, if Marvel advocates this type of behavior, then I'll stop buying their comics. It's that simple. Look, understand, I'm a big fan of comics, but no company has any power over me. I mean, anybody who watches my videos know I'll cut a product off quick. It's not a big deal, all right? But you have to understand, I can always go back, because I have comics from back when I was a kid. I can review those and be cool. I don't need to buy updated comics. You understand that, right? But this is not about comics. This is about, at least for me, it's about, you know, holding people responsible. This is about accountability. That's what this is about. Now, I'll put it like this. Dan Slott, he works for Marvel, all right? He represents Marvel because he works for them, just like any other employee at any other job represents their company. When you signed that contract, when you were hired, you were signing to a code of conduct, an employee code of conduct. If you break that code of conduct, you're reprimanded just like anybody else. That's what it comes down to. So Marvel, if you're okay with this, then I can just stop buying your comics. I can go to the competitor. It's not a big deal. You get what I'm saying? But also understand, I've already sworn off, you know, comics that Dan Slott, anything with his name on, I will not buy now. You know what that means? Because since Dan Slott likes to keep bringing up sales and, this book sold out, whatever, it means that Marvel loses a sale. That's what it means. And you know what it means? That means people have tweeted me, throughout this time. They say, you know what? I'm not buying anything with his name on either. So now it's a snowball effect. That means Marvel is losing money. That's what it means. And Marvel don't like that. I guarantee you they don't like that. Now, I'll put it like this. Dan Slott, if you're such a famous, comic book writer, celebrity, because that's what you keep throwing in people's faces, how famous you are, then why do you need to troll to promote a book if you're so famous? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know what? I wonder what Stan Lee would think about this. I wonder what Jack Kirby would think about this. You know what? I wonder what your family would think about this. Because they're well aware of you getting on the computer and starting fights with people, right? They're okay with that, right? You know what? I bet you they don't know about that. You shame them when you act like this. And you're too old to be acting like this. All right? That's what it comes down to. A man of your age acting like this. And you know what? It shows even more in your tweets. Okay, now remember, he says that it's silly that the book hasn't sold out everywhere. Just remember that, because I want to show you that later, okay? Just remember that. Then a fan comes in Dan Slott's defense. Mind you, he's a grown-ass man. He can defend himself. And need I keep reminding people that Slott is the one who initiated all this? All right? So I don't understand why there needs to be a defense for him. But it seems like you clowns out there have not learned. Did you not learn from the last video when I absolutely bodied that other dude? Did you not learn from that? So then he tries to call me a wannabe tough guy that I'm putting on an act. And I show him just how much an act it is when I call him out too. And then, in usual fashion, the fan backs down, all right? That's what it comes down to. Just like Dan Slott, when I kept asking him, what is he going to do about it? If it's this serious, somebody needs to come and see me on this. But as usual, Dan Slott ignored that many a times, and then now the fan tries to ignore it. It goes to show you, they think that they've done something great, but in the end, they're really just cowards. Now, remember when Slott said it was silly that, the book wasn't selling out everywhere? Well, comic fans started notifying me about their comic book shops in their towns and cities. They also started piecing together how Slott really is. I believe that's checkmate as far as I'm concerned. Now, mind you, people, okay, this argument, all this happened on Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., I didn't have any more time for this. I went out and I partied all night. So you're probably seeing the timestamps on the tweets. It says 20 hours, 21 hours. That's because I didn't start screenshotting this type of stuff till the next day. So I screenshot a little bit while I was home and then went out and then waited till the next day to do it. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, I don't have time for this type of stuff. So I just want to put it like this. Friday, really nothing happened. Friday night, really nothing happened. There was one other fan of Slots that came out and tried to start something, but he was absolutely wrong. He's trying to bring up Superior Spider-Man. I'm like, what are you talking about? And mind you, it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night. We out partying. I'm like, you sitting at home on the computer arguing over comics? We out partying. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? So nothing really happened on Friday. All Saturday went by. So, you know, as usual, we're talking sports and all this type of stuff. So you think it's a dead issue. It shouldn't have been an issue to begin with, all right? But it's a dead issue, right? Wrong. Saturday at 12 a.m., technically Sunday, Dan Slott sends me a tweet. That's right, sends me a tweet saying, I apologize for things on my end, but, and it goes on about how I'm wrong. Man, I don't care why. Why are you messaging me at 12 o'clock on a Saturday? What's wrong with you? And here's the thing. I screenshot it from my cell phone, so this is what it looks like. Slot, what makes you think I care if you apologize to me? That bridge has already been burned. I don't care who you are, what you write, how famous you think you are, how many books you sell. None of that matters after the way you've acted. Comic book writers have a chance. No. They have a privilege, all right, to use these iconic characters and try to influence children when they are younger that don't have role models. You have abused that privilege. That's what you're failing to realize. You're only worried about yourself and pushing your own profile. That's what this comes down to. You don't deserve this. You've lost your way. And you have a problem with letting things go, apparently. And I said that to him at the last time, finally, when I blocked him. As, you know, many of you said, I should have just blocked him. Even Jeff, you know, said I should just block him. So there you have it, people. The real, the true Dan Slott. Now, I know Jeff said it's an act, it's trolling, but if we go by that, then that means that Slott isn't being real to people online, even his entire fan base that defends him. That means he's been lying to them. But if we go by Slott's history, as I showed you guys the link in the info bar in the first video, that he has a history of trolling, then this is really him. Either way, it's a bad look for him, all right? And it's a sad life. It really is. And this is the guy you want to write for your heroes? This is the guy you want to represent a legendary company like Marvel? This is the guy, huh? Understand, people, that I told you before, his reputation, I said in the last video, it was on life support, his reputation. With this stalking move that he just pulled, he just dug his own grave. I told you before, all you have to do is give arrogant people enough rope to hang themselves. Real talk. That's all it comes down to. And like I said, it's not just from a work, perspective of his reputation being ruined. No, it's from an adult perspective as well. I'll never respect this guy ever again. There's nothing he can say that would change that. You get what I'm saying? And some of you guys are saying there's other comic book, writers that act this way too. Well, you know what? It just goes to show you what type of sad life they lead. We're still talking about a guy, Dan Slott, who admitted that his room is full of Spider-Man. He still wears the, Spider-Man pajamas and all. We're talking about this guy. Like I said, he has not learned anything from the teachings of the past on how he was written. And it goes to show you, this is who he really is. I mean, real talk, Dan, let's be honest here. If I took you down the way, Dan, you came out and tried to pull that fame crap down the hood, and you tried to come, I'm Dan Slott. These dudes would look at you like, who? They don't care. If you said, I write for Spider-Man, they'd be like, what? They don't care. No one cares. In the real world, no one cares about that. It's only within this little realm that you feel of comics and conventions and stuff like that. Anyone else doesn't care about that type of stuff. If you came out and told somebody, I write for comic books, they're going to be like, all right, whatever. And that's it. I don't understand. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Once again, another one bites the dust. I'm moving on from this, man. I really am. It just goes to show you that I told you to start off the new year and we're going to have fun, and then this happens. He done. It's a wrap as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to hear any more about this because there's no coming back from this as far as I'm concerned. He's done. I'm done, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. We're going to start back up with the sports and games and all that stuff and try to have fun. I'm out.